of Sport and Physical Education in Buea takes a new twist after members of the Conciliation and Arbitration Chambers of the National Olympic and Sports Committee suspends the Samuel Eto'o-led appointees to mount the affairs of the national squad for football on the male category. Those were our major stories. Good evening to you all. You are welcome to High Prime of Wednesday, the 22nd day of May 2024. For presentation, I am a technical Larry Kevin Tabot. We start off with this economic story from the town of Buea, where with constant power outages in the town of Buea and most parts of Cameroon, students and pupils say they can no longer cope with these insistent power outages that is having a huge toll on their learning process, as the electricity supply company can't handle the constant flow of power. These two has equally have an economic down twist with business persons and persons of operating with economic operators says they too cannot catch up with their various activities as a result of incessant power outages. Journalism student on internship Joya Pearl tells us more.
Constant power outage in the southwest region of Cameroon has been disadvantageous to inhabitants and students in particular, who make the most part of the region's population. Students in the town of Buea have decried this crisis, clearly stating the effects it has had on them.
The situation of electricity is becoming alarming, especially in the university areas like Geti South. This is seriously affecting my education because at the time when I have to read, there's no light. At times, I have to go to the extent of using candles to read. In the 21st century, it's a disgrace to the country, it's a disgrace to our community. So it's a very bad situation, and the government really needs to look into it to see how to solve the problem.
Very important for students to study, to preserve food items, especially for those who use the fridge. And so the power outage has cost me a lot. I have food in the fridge, and then when the light goes off, you get to remove everything at once and prepare. And it gets bad along the way. Now let's go into the starting part. You come home and you have assignments to do. Your phone is low, your machine you have to use to type is so low that
able to go about their daily activities, students have named inabilities to meet with deadlines for assignments and decomposition of refrigerated food as negative effects of the power outage.
Well, as a student, for me, this on and off light has actually really affected me. Not in terms, but like in my day-to-day life, food that is in the fridge is getting bad. And short perishable stuff which I have in the fridge is getting bad, and also most of my notes and documents on my laptop, and since the light is on and off, there's no way to charge the laptop, and to read is very difficult.
This power outage in Buea has not really affected me as a student. Firstly, because I have a power bank, and when there is light issue, I usually charge my phone with my power bank, and sometimes I usually use my phone to study when there is no light. And again, I'll try to encourage those
of this power outage. Students have resorted to getting themselves power banks and other power-saving electronics they advise the inhabitants to acquire in order to meet up with daily activities.
And something needs to be done for the authorities of Inyo to step up their game. We move on to the Northwest region, precisely in Bedo of the Boyo division of the Northwest region, where inspector for basic education in Boyo division who were killed on their way to contact the subdivisional officer for the festivity of the 52nd National Unity Day celebrations in Bedo of the Northwest region. Our reporter tells us more. Condemnation and indignation are pouring in after separatist fighters killed the mayor of Belo, his assistant, and the education inspector for basic education for Boyo Division last Monday, 20th May 2024, as the nation was celebrating her 52nd National Unity Day. The celebrations that never took place at the Belo ceremonial grandstand as a result of the killing of Mayor Innocent Ngong. According to eyewitness account, the trio were on their way to get the divisional officer who was supposed to preside over the ceremony of the 20th May. The non-state armed men shot at the furniture and shot in the air and later on killed the trio, with the ghost town situation in the area that has furthermore exacerbated the bad situation to be worse, as it has tampered with the free flow of information. For the moment, detailed information on how the macabre incident occurred are not yet available, coming at a time where the Minister of Social Affairs, Pauline Irengene, has prescribed free birth certificates to all children in Boyo Division so as for them to have free access to education. The young mayor of Bello recently backed his PhD thesis from the University of Boya some few months back. Moving on to one of our lead stories, as we did mention earlier, 3 persons from the same family has died after they consumed a herbal concoction mixed with palm oil. The said herbal concoction was supposed to be a medication for stomach relief pains. The medicine that was prepared by the grand uncle of 2 children who died after consuming the said concoction after their grand uncle, who is their paternal grand uncle, complained of stomach pains over there in Galim town.
3 persons in Galim, a locality in the Bambutus division of the West region, dead following a consumption of palm oil that was mixed with another substance by the children's mother's uncle, who used it as relief for his stomach pains. But little did he know that this herbal solution would be transformed into a poisonous substance for him and some other family members.
Au ventre et aussi le remet dans son sang et tourne avec lui depuis le jour. Quand il lèche, les enfants viennent aussi auprès de lui. Ils ont aussi léché avec lui. Quand le premier s'est évanoui, en tant que lui aussi il s'est évanoui. On les a amenés à l'hôpital de district à Galim. Il est aussi décédé. Nous sommes arrivés ici à l'hôpital départemental de Bouddha.
With the demise of the children and the said uncle, 2 others were taken to the district hospital in Buda for medical attention. The 3 deceased persons' funeral arrangement has been programmed. With this scenario, the public is advised from not consuming.
On the Bay Cliff, it located some 40 meters away to the Garua for the university games that will be starting anytime soon. With no life recorded, the students sustained injuries with all thanks to the timely intervention from the health emergency services in the Adamawa region, who came to their aid, as this move was championed by the governor of the Adamawa region, Keda Takagi Buka, who championed that move. Away from that, we move on to news out of the shores of Cameroon. After the death of Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi last Monday, the Islamic State of Iran has declared a 5-day national mourning for the departed president, who died alongside some 9 others, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Iran, as Iranians came all from far and near to bid farewell to their president, who has gone to join his ancestors, as he will be buried in his native town in the southeastern part of Iran. Aishambang has more.
Mourning continues across Iran in the wake of President Ibrahim Raisi's death. Iranians gathered in the streets across the nation to express their grief over the death of their president and his companions. In the meantime, while others were mourning, in the other parts of the country, others are seen celebrating his death, as they refer to him as a tyrant, murderer with inhuman treatment, most especially towards the women. On the other hand, some Western Iranians say the deceased president was not a legal candidate. According to the state media, the president was killed alongside the Iranian foreign minister in an helicopter crash in the mountainous area near Azerbaijan. Following a report from the local media, a total of 9 people, including the flight crew, were killed in the helicopter crash. From the state media, it is said that they had been traveling back to Iran from a ceremony where they had inaugurated a dam with the Azerbaijan force to make a hard landing in the mountainous region after getting into difficulties due to heavy fog and bad weather.
Moving on to our sports page, where the Conciliation and Arbitration Chambers of the National Olympic and Sports Committee has suspended the Fecafoot
Less than 3 weeks to June 8, 2024, Team Cameroon's preparation towards the World Cup qualifier is still very timid as the battle between Fecafoot and MINSEP continues. After Fecafoot appointed